Vicky, Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. And we're there in this sort of twilight zone, aren't we, between Christmas and New Year, where you don't know what day it is, you don't know what you're doing. You can't remember if you're supposed to be at work. Is it weekend? Is it this? So, but imagine how it feels for the family of this guy, of John George. We think we're in Twilight Zone just because we're not, we're in between Christmas and New Year. But they're still going through this nightmare. They do not know what has happened to their father, because he's a father of two, their brother, their son, etc., their friend. This is sort of close to my house, not that far away from where I am. And I have reached out and offered some help. If I can help with interpreting, I can't help with searching because physically I just, the places that they're searching, I would just be a hindrance, not a help. I would end up needing rescuing probably. So I can't really help with that, but I'd like to help as much as I can. I can help with interpreting, or especially with the YouTube channels, especially on my Spanish and English channel. I have a lot of local people to that area. Now I've noticed, because of course this poor family, so let me just tell you what happened. So John was on holiday, wasn't he, here, and he disappeared. He did not, well, basically he did not get his flight back to Northern Ireland, where he's from, when he was supposed to go. I think it was on the 18th of December. He just didn't get his flight. And the last time he spoke to anybody, now I don't know the full details, there's vague things that have come out. For some reason, the family really do feel that he is in danger, if not already deceased. Now, there'll be a reason why they think that, which I don't know what it is. If they want to reach out to me in confidence and tell me that. I don't know what the reasons are that they seem to think they're looking for a body rather than looking for John alive. But, I would say to them, don't lose hope, because, John could have gone to hospital. Well, there's a few things. There's a few sort of things I want to say, which I have said on their Facebook page. I have reached out to them and said it. And if they want to take me up on the offer of interpreting, I'd be happy to do that. The thing is, dealing with the Guardia Civil, as we found out in the Jay Slater case, and I was saying, but of course, Jay Slater, it was just too far for me to go and help, though I would have gone probably if I would have been asked to go. The other thing is, I don't like to interject myself in things. If people want my help, I'd be glad to help, but I don't want people to think, I'm just trying to interject myself in things. I will help, and I can definitely help with dealing with the Guardia, because they're not easy to deal with. They have their way of dealing with things. It's not the way the British police deal with things. They're very secretive. They don't like interference. And there's some good things that you could say about that and some bad things. But I think for a family, whether you speak Spanish or not, it is very frustrating. I can see that would be very frustrating. So the family are trying to do it themselves up to a point. There's a lot of them have come over. They've started searching. They're searching sort of beach areas, etc. And again, I'm not sure why they think that John might be found there. There must be a reason why they're searching there. I don't know what it is. Apparently, the last video that was seen of John, he was very distressed, and they also. The family seem to have, how can I put it, they seem to feel a reason for suspecting certain people. Now, they're talking about that quite openly on Facebook, etc. I won't be talking about names and things, because you do have to be careful with mentioning names, without knowing exactly, that is something I can't do, but I can give as much information as possible about what is in the area that I'm probably reaching with this video, especially, because I stream to my two YouTube channels. So I've got the Vicky Marie Chats Crime, and then I've got the Vicky Marie Spanish and English. And that's the one where it's likely to be people on there that are watching who know the area. And they're, they may know something. They may know something. But anyway, we're going to go through it. We're going to go through what the latest updates are. And just see, I'm just here to spread knowledge, to spread information, and maybe, you never know, someone might just have that bit of information that you wouldn't expect that will help this family to get answers. And the other thing I just want to say is, and I know my chatters, they are respectful generally, but we are going to be respectful. It doesn't matter, there's all other sort of things. It's already getting into that conspiracy theory zone, which I don't like. I don't know what John was, not Johnny. Johnny's the one that's sort of the other one. But I don't know what John was doing in Spain. I don't know what John's background is. Maybe, there were things that he was doing that maybe weren't right. I don't know, and you don't know. Nobody knows. All I do know is that going on this Facebook group, it seems like not only his family, but a lot of people saying nice things about John. A lot of people, what a kind man he was, etc. So we don't know the full story of John. So I'd like you to be respectful to John and to the family, and bear in mind that they're, walking on a tightrope at the moment. They're at a very, frayed edge, if you like, and they're probably going to get carried away sometimes with the things they say, as you would, if it was your family member. So we just need to be mindful of that. And really, all that matters, it actually, in my eyes, it doesn't even matter. All that matters is this man is father to 2 children. He needs to be found, whatever he's done or hasn't done, or, no families deserve to be sort of wondering what's happened to their loved one, whoever it is. So even if he was the biggest twonk in the world, which I don't think he is, he still deserves to be found and brought home to his family one way or another. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. So we're going to be respectful. We're going to be respectful to John. We're going to be respectful to his family, and bear in mind that when a family's going through a lot, sometimes what I'm talking about is like bad language and stuff like that. That people use. You can't blame them for that, can you? We all use a bit of bad language here and there. So I just want to be mindful of that. Just take it all into account of what is happening and how horrible. This is since the 18th of December as well. So we're now, if it's 10 days they've been through this, not knowing where he is, nothing, his phone switched off. They seem to have some ideas of something nefarious that's happened. I don't know what the reason for that is, but as I say, there is some reason that they seem to have, to think that there's something bad has happened to Johnny. So I hope it hasn't, but we have to bear that in mind. Anyway, so hello to everybody watching at home. Hello to you lurkers. There's always lurkers in there. And for the people that are in the chat at the moment, we've got Laurie and David. Hi, Laurie. Hi, David. Hope you're both well. So, and for those of you that are watching on replay, hi. So let's talk about what happened first of all. So as I say, it seems like John came on holiday. Let's just have a look. And he phoned his family to say he was heading on a flight home to Belfast from Alicante. Now, this is the other thing I want to say. This is not in Alicante where it has happened. So people quite often get confused because they fly to Alicante airport. And Alicante is a city in itself. But where John has gone missing, it's not Alicante. It's Orihuela Costa. or Torrevieja. It's miles away from Alicante. It's about an hour's drive, 3/4 of an hour's drive from the airport in Alicante. But I think there's been some confusion there that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So the family are meeting every morning at a bar in now on the flyers it says Alicante, but it's not in Alicante. So confusing, Spain. But it's like Spain's divided into communities, and there's the community of Valencia, which is where Alicante is, and Alicante is a province in that community. And where John has gone missing is a sort of a district in that province, but it's not actually Alicante. It's called Orihuela Costa. It's very, there's a lot of expats, there's a lot of Irish people there, but all sorts of nationalities, not many Spanish people in that area, let's say. And it's the coast area, it's the coastal area. Goes from, you come down from Alicante Airport, you go through various places on the coast, and eventually you come to Orihuela Costa, La Zenia, Torrevieja first, then Punta Prima, Playa Flamenca, La Zenia, and this is where he's gone missing in the next one along, really, which is more or less Cabaro. So some of the information that's being put out there, with the best will in the world, saying this is Alicante, it's not Alicante. Alicante is, so it'd be like if you lived in Manchester. Manchester is Manchester. I related it to where I come from. You've got Manchester, but Salford, for example, it's not in Manchester. It's in Greater Manchester, isn't it? Or Charlton or Wythenshawe or some of the other areas that you sort of think of as part of Manchester, but they're actually not. And that's how, where John has gone missing, it's not Alicante in that sense. It's not Alicante city. It's Alicante province. And right on the outskirts of it, it's miles away from the centre. So, it's not near the airport. The airport would be Alicante that you fly to, just as that's the airport you fly to if you're going to Benidorm. But you go to Benidorm, you're not in Alicante. You fly to Alicante Airport, you get in your transfer, your coach or whatever it is, and off you go to Benidorm. So I just want to point that out, because that is something that may affect the search efforts, because every morning they're meeting in a bar called the Lucky Lion that, according to the posters, it says is in Alicante, but it's not. That's all. So I'm going to point that out in a minute. So John is 37 years old, and his mobile phone has been off since the 14th of December. So that's even 4 days before he was supposed to get on the flight. Why is his mobile phone off? We know that nobody turns off their mobile phone these days, do they? They just don't. Everyone else, if they possibly can, they have their mobile phones switched on. So a lot of his family and friends have travelled. I'm going to show you this article, actually. The article that I'm actually reading at the moment is in The Independent. So it's received a fair amount of media coverage, but I think in the area, there's a lot of people there's so many expats in that area. And I do think there would be a lot more people turning up at that bar in the morning, but they've probably got confused about the Benidorm and Alicante thing, and they're probably not realising it. Literally, this has happened just around the corner from them. And that's what I specifically want to point out. Anyway, here's John, sorry. Gosh, I've got to stop saying that. So his younger brother, Darren, told The Independent, "Our family home has been ripped to pieces. Dad has had a heart attack. Our mum has had 2 strokes, but they're still running around Spain looking for him." And he said it through tears, John was my best friend. Now, they're talking in the past tense. I don't know what the reason is that they seem to be convinced that John's dead. They'll have a reason for that. I'm not sure what that is. But they are talking about him in the past tense. It's so very, very sad. And he said, John was my best friend. He looked after me my whole life. I never had to worry for anything. So there's definite past tense there. So here he is, another photo of him. Apparently his children are asking where he is because he was probably supposed to go back for Christmas. And this is him at a family wedding. That must be his sister there in the middle. I don't know if he's got two sisters or one sister, but you can see this family will have been torn apart. Of course they will. Well, you know, you only got to put yourself in their position. What would you do? You know, if your brother, father, son just disappeared one day, and especially in a foreign country. So I do think it's, sorry, I'm going to turn that off because I can't seem to get back to the original. Yeah, imagine in a foreign country as well. And the biggest problem, of course, is the language barrier. Now, and it's not only a language barrier, as you know, I've said before when we talked about the Jay Slater case. It's not only whether you speak Spanish or not, it's about whether you understand the way the Guardia work. You know, and the way to talk to them. There's a way to talk to them. There's a way to get information from them if they're prepared to give it. They don't like being shouted at. They don't like being tried to make to do something. They'll help as much as they can. But there's a way of dealing with them. I've dealt with the Guardia for over 20 years, and it took me a year before they even really... when I first came to Spain and I used to interpret for people who'd been robbed, I used to be terrified going to the police station because they would, I swear they would speak quickly just so I couldn't really understand what they were saying. They wouldn't open the mouth properly and I'd be like, oh my God, I would be terrified. And then just one day, literally it happened just like that. One day, one of the Guardia at the police station that I used to go to often with clients to report robberies, one of them just said, oh, you come here a lot, don't you? What's your name? And I said, oh, Vicky. Well, that was it. I was like his best friend from then on. He couldn't do enough for me every time I went there. He was a sergeant at the police station, and sometimes I'd see him out in restaurants and things. He'd make a big fuss. He'd be with his family. And I never had a problem again with the Guardia at the police station, like feeling awkward or whatever. But the other thing you have to remember is, and if anybody who knows John and his family, you get a lot of bogus interpreters in Spain. You'll get people who say to you, oh yeah, I'm an interpreter, and you go along, they don't really speak any Spanish. And the thing is, if you don't speak Spanish, you don't know who's a bogus interpreter or not. So they can irritate the Guardia. The Guardia are easily irritated. It doesn't take much, especially after Brexit. And people can pretend that Brexit hasn't made a difference, but it has made a difference. They're definitely more irritated with British people than they were before, because now we're not part of the European Union, and they can. But I think in general, they would always sympathise with a family who's missing a family member. Hi, Lorna. Oh God, David, I could not. Yeah, I thought, God, they'd be giving me a uniform soon. Honestly, there was one point in the boom years, just in the early 2000s. There were so many robberies because there were so many new people coming to live here and houses were being constructed. Everyone was getting mugged, robbed, you named it. I was there at the police station so often interpreting for people. They could have given me a desk, really, But yeah, often they said to me, people just start bring interpreters along that aren't proper interpreters. So be careful of that, because you wouldn't know, no offense, but if you've just flown in from Northern Ireland and you don't speak a word of Spanish and someone says to you they speak fluent Spanish, you wouldn't know if they really did or not. You just wouldn't. So, and that can antagonize the Guardia even more when they've got someone there who's pretending to be an interpreter and they're not. So there you go. Anyway, so that's just something else that I wanted to say. Now let's have a look at, so John is, at the end of the day, what we do know is John has disappeared. Whether he has come to foul play, that seems to be the family suspect for whatever reason. I believe there's a video. There was a video, or his last phone call was he was quite distressed. So there's a reason why they feel like something's happened to him. And they seem to be searching as if they're searching for a body rather than as if they're searching, for John himself. Now, I would say there, and I have said this on the Facebook page, it's always worth trying the hospitals, though, even so, because if something had happened to John, maybe he was attacked, but he was unconscious, and maybe somebody took him to hospital, or somebody phoned an ambulance and he got to hospital. But because he was unconscious, or because of the language barrier, maybe he can't tell them who he is, or whatever. He could be in a coma. There's which would be a plus thing, really, rather than him being deceased somewhere. So I would always, as a lot of my chatters know, I did actually find my friend's uncle at the hospital once years ago, who, he'd had an ambulance called, gone off in the ambulance, never been heard of since. And then, to cut a long story short, we went around the hospital. They wouldn't give us any information at the hospital. It was a very obnoxious girl on the reception there called Christina. I still remember her now. Wouldn't give any information. We went to the police. The police were brilliant. They said, oh, yeah, because she told us to go to the police because she said you'd need permission from the police. And the police said, oh, no, if you're looking for a loved one, go around the hospital, we give permission. And then we went back to the hospital, and then she called us liars and said we hadn't spoken to the police at all. Oh, it was a nightmare. In the end, we just looked around the hospital. We just set off around the hospital. We went from room to room, and we found him. He was sat there having his lunch. I think he was a bit disappointed he was found because he was having a great time. Bless him. But anyway, so just to show, because if he is in hospital, he'll be there under desconocido, like unknown. If they don't know his name, if he didn't have any ID on him, for example, if he didn't have his passport on him or whatever, and they don't know who he is, and he either can't tell them who he is because he's so ill, or he can't tell them who he is because of the language barrier. So the hospital's always a possibility. Now, there's a lot of rumours about this, that and the other, that the police had some dealings with John. I don't know if that's true or not. But if so, could he not have been arrested? But I don't know what the contact's been between the family and the police. So what have the police said? From what I can gather, because I've seen photos where the Guardia Civil are there, do they even know about this? Do they know all the details? Could he have been arrested? Could he be somewhere being held by the police? Is that a reason why he might not have? I'm just trying to look on the bright side, I think, and think of different scenarios. If it's not possible that he's in the hospital or that he's with the police and maybe something terrible has happened to him, as the family seem to be convinced, then what have the police said about it? I mean, the police normally would send out, the Spanish police are just the same as the British police. They don't treat it lightly when someone goes missing. They look for them, and especially if they think a crime's been committed, they will try their best to look for them. They do have dogs and search things and that. So it's very difficult for me to comment on, because I don't actually know for sure what's been said with the police. Do you see what I mean? I don't know what stage it's at, so that it's difficult for me to comment on it. But anyway, I'm just trying to give some advice, I suppose. You know, that's where I would be going. Let's say, you know, if it was my son that disappeared, I would be checking the hospital, because sometimes they won't take it that seriously, because at the end of the day, Johnny's 37 years old, he's an adult. And just like anywhere, when someone goes missing, the police initially will say, oh, well, you know, he might just have gone for a drink, gone on a bender, gone and done this, gone and done that. He's 37 years old. He's not a vulnerable missing person as far as the police are concerned. So initially, you would have to do it on your own, I think, a little bit, even if it was, you know, a suspicious circumstance. The police, because they have a lot of missing people to deal with. So when I was going through the missing people in the area, oh my God, there were loads of them again. You know, you just think, God, you just don't know all these people that go missing. So the police would probably not treat John, no offense, but they probably would not treat him as a 37-year-old man who was here on holiday and could be off just enjoying himself. As far as they're concerned, they probably would not treat him seriously in the beginning. Now, as time went on, and if, you know, if this video exists, you know, there's a reason why the family think something more serious has happened to him. So as time went on and they found out more about that, maybe they might take it more seriously. But as I say, because I don't know the conversations that have gone on between the family and the police, I don't know where the police are with this case. So it's difficult to comment on. But as time went on, I would think after all this time, they might come more to the conclusion that something nefarious might have happened to him. Now, I just want to actually look up SOS Desaparecidos. SOS. Yeah, because those of you who follow my channel, you will know that when they start to worry about someone seriously, like they did with Anna Knežević, you know, and they start putting the posters out. This is regardless of the family. This is what the Disappearance website will do. Now, SOS Desaparecidos. Right. Now, there's a language problem here, of course, for the family. But as I say, I would always help with that if they've got problem with the... So this is like the Missing Persons Association of Spain, Asociación SOS Desaparecidos. So busca... See, he's not on there at the moment. From what I can see, busca desaparecido. So tipo dispar. So he's adult, male, Comunidad de Valencia. Where's Valencia? There it is, Comunidad Valenciana, Alicante, zona, and the zona is what? No, because the zona is Alicante. Okay, let's do it like that. So it comes at all these missing people. There's a British guy there, disappeared in 2022. So yeah, looks like the last one they've got on there is Ayuda, who disappeared on the 6th of December. We've got someone on the 4th of December, the 3rd of December. God, look at all those people disappeared over the last couple of months. Young people, old people. It's very sad, isn't it? Very, very sad. And that is only in, I think that's only in Alicante, is it? Adults? Man. Community Valenciana. Alicante. It's Orihuela it'll come under. Orihuela Costa. Oh. So the only person they've got there, sorry, I might cry now, because this young lad, he disappeared. I've talked about him on stream before. I need to do a video about him. He disappeared on the 1st of January in 2019, and his mum has never got him back. He disappeared, I think it was New Year's Eve, was it, or New Year's Day, and they think he's deceased. It's sort of a similar story in a way, that there were supposedly videos that were sent to his family or his friends where he looked like something had happened to him, and then he just disappeared and he's never been found. So he'd be 25 now. He was 20 when he disappeared. It's very sad, because that story, it was a big story at the time, but it's sort of, you know, been forgotten. I'm going to do a video about him, actually. What day did he disappear? The 1st of January. That's the video I'm going to do. Concentrate on him, because he needs bringing, his name needs bringing back to light. His mum still lives in Torrevieja, and she's still looking for him, and she's never had any answers to what happened to her son. But anyway, the point that I'm doing here is he's not on this website at the moment. So he needs to be on the Asociación SOS Desaparecidos, the missing persons website for Spain, before they'll put him on ATMs and things like that. So that's something to think about as well, is contacting them. I know, again, there's what do you call it? There's a language barrier, of course. So remember, we're not saying anything disrespectful in this chat about him or his family or anything, because all we're thinking about at the moment is someone has disappeared. If it comes to light anything else, that's another thing, but we're not being disrespectful whatsoever in this chat. Thank you. So so if you're watching, friends or family or whatever, you need to, I mean, I'll say I can help out with that. Get in touch with them, because he's not on the he's not on the missing persons list at the moment for whatever reason, even though he's been missing for all that time. Okay, now let's have a look. There's a video of where they're, let's have a look at the video of where they're. Now, as I say, on the Facebook and on the social media, there's a lot of things sort of talking about what people think might have happened to him. And there's some accusations towards people. I'm not going to be looking at that at all, because, you know, until someone's actually been proven guilty, we can't talk about that. But what I do want to talk about, or show everybody when I can find it, is there are searches going on. There are searches going on, and God, how did it set up? But it's disappeared. Oh, is it there? Hang on. There are, so everyone's meeting every morning at this Lucky Lion place. Maybe we should have a look at that. So, because just in case anyone who's watching is in the area. And wants to help with the searches. I think they're meeting at 10 o'clock every morning, from what I can gather. Yeah, at this place. So it's the Lucky Lion, and there seemed to be some confusion about where it was, but it's in Lomas de Cabaro in Orihuela, Spain. And that's where people are meeting every morning from 11 a.m. in the Lucky Lion bar. So if you can help, like search-wise, physically, if you're physically able to do that, because they're going sort of like the beaches and the places that they're exploring are rocky. And, just to let you know that, so they're not easy to traverse, all of them. So be aware of that, because you don't want to hold up the search. That's why I wouldn't go and help in the search, because I wouldn't be very good at that. I can help in other ways, but not in the actual physical way of searching. But if you can, or people who can, then that's the place to go to. The Lucky Lion people will know where it is, in Lomas de Cabaro. If you're from the area, you will know that area, and it's sort of on the corner. There's like a roundabout near the Iceland store. There's an Iceland overseas store, and then on the corner, just a bit up from there, that's where it is, on the corner. So anyone who wants to help, 11 o'clock every morning, if you want to help search. Okay. Now, yeah, I had loads of videos that I wanted to show you, and of course can't find them now. Let's go back to that independent one, because they had a video on there. So I don't know why they think he's in this area. There must be a reason. Sorry, I've got too many windows open now.
Supported by local.
Let's go to the beginning there. Watch this.
A father of two, John Hardy, was expected to fly home to Belfast from Alicante for Christmas, but he never arrived. His family, devastated and desperate, travelled to Spain to search for him. "Our family home has been ripped to pieces," said his brother Darren. Their father previously suffered a heart attack, and their mother has had their father previously suffered.
Hang on, let me just go back to that. I want to so this is the sort of area that they're searching. It's like the Campo near the beach, and it's a massive area, and there's bushes, and then there's the sea and the beach as well. So I'm not sure why they're searching that area, but they seem to feel that he may be there, but I don't know why.
Aaron. Their father previously suffered a heart attack, and their mother has had 2 strokes, yet they search tirelessly. Darren described John as his best friend, always there to help. "He made you feel safe," he said. "Christmas was John's favourite time, and he would never willingly miss it with his kids." The family, supported by locals, uses dogs and drones in their search. "We will knock on every door," Darren vowed. A GoFundMe page has raised over £16,000 to aid their...
Good morning, Anna. I'm ready. Shall we start?
Oh, they're doing an advert. How annoying.
You have selected a tag bracket. Would you like to customize?
In this episode, we're heading stateside to explore the best cities to visit from coast to coast.
The US is a country of striking diversity, with a wide range of landscapes. So you'll be spoilt for choice when booking a trip to one of its vibrant cities.
Oh, no, I'm not watching that. So let's have a look at this instead. So we're going to have a look at the Belfast Telegraph. Now, there's this talk about a video circulating that shows him. So, hi, Tracy. It shows him in a Spanish apartment before he went missing. So this is what they're talking about a lot, that this video where he seemed distressed. They're talking about there are other people in this apartment, Russian sounding people. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, we don't know the full details. But a video, they're saying that a video posted on social media shows that Belfast man John Hardy, also known as John George, did make it to an apartment in Spain before disappearing without a trace. Oh, and then they put you behind a paywall. Oh, thank you, Belfast Telegraph. Let's find one that's not behind a paywall. I just think, let's try the Irish news. Oh. Try this one. Now, this is the Olive Press. This is a Spanish newspaper. I'm going to share it. I said they've got a video on here, so let's have a look. Got so many adverts. I know that's the only way they make money. So this is the area where they say he's gone missing, but I wonder why how do they know that, I wonder? Let's watch. So this is a video of his dad pleading for help.
Day 2 of the search for John George. Look at the size of what 6 people have to try and go through here. This is a needle in a haystack. Please share this on social media. I need locals to come and help us find our son before it's too late. I just need him home. Please, somebody tell us where he is and get this.
So this is his father, who's had 2 heart attacks already. So whatever anyone thinks of John or whatever history John's got or hasn't got, I don't even know that he has got any bad history. You know, people are talking about it's going to end up like that, like the Jay Slater thing. Everybody, you know, Jay had a past, didn't he? Does that mean that he deserved to die on a mountain in Spain because he'd got into trouble when he was young? I don't like all this victim blaming. You know, at the end of the day, John, if something's happened to him, he is this guy's son, and he is the son of the mother who's had a stroke, and he is the brother of his sisters and his brother, etc. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, really, if he's, you know, not a saint, does it? Or any of us saints? So does it mean that he doesn't deserve to be found, or he should be ridiculed or anything? No, I don't like that. This guy is missing. This father is distraught. The mother is distraught. The whole family and friends are distraught. That's all that matters. All that matters is that one way or another, they seem to have resigned themselves to the fact that he is no longer with us on this planet, which is very, very sad. There must be a reason for that. As I say, I don't know what it is. And there's a lot of chatter about who may be responsible for it. Names have been mentioned, etc. The apparent, you know, I'm not going to name him, but the apparent guy is on the run, they say. You know, I don't know, because I haven't spoken to the police. I don't know what the police have got to say about it all. And, you know, I'd like to hear what the Guardia have got to say about it. I'm completely in the dark. And I would be suspicious of anything that anyone says. I don't mean suspicious in a bad way. I mean, you know, if the family have been to the Guardia with an interpreter, I don't know how good that interpreter was. You know, these interpreters, these bogus interpreters, they'll say anything. I've heard them do it, you know, and the trouble is that the person that they're interpreting for, they don't know because they don't know anything. They don't know whether what they're saying is right or not. So I'm very intrigued to know what the Guardian makes of all this, not through an interpreter, but through, I'd like to hear it for myself. But anyway, so yeah, this father is obviously very, very upset.
Just put this on your social media and share. And whoever's done this, please give us a moment.
Why do they think he's there? It's very intriguing. Why do they think they're going to find him there? But anyway, let's listen to that one more time.
Day 2 of the search for John George. Look at the size of what 6 people have to try and go through here. This is a needle in a haystack. Please share this on social media. I need locals to come and help us find our son before it's too late.
Oh.
We just need him home. Please, somebody tell us where he is and get this. And just put this on your social media and share. And whoever's done this, please give us him home.
Give us him home. Gosh, that's very emotional, isn't it? So now the thing is, I think they would have had a lot more volunteers, but I do think there has been a problem with knowing exactly where this has happened. This because it's been on there saying it's in Alicante, and it's not in Alicante, it's in Orihuela Costa. There are loads of expats in Orihuela Costa. It is populated by expats, loads of Irish people. I think they would be overwhelmed with once people know exactly the proper place where it is, they'll be overwhelmed with volunteers to help. I know that for a fact. That how many people there must be in that area, how many expats in that area. So I hope that I've tried to say that on the group, and I hope they will change it on the posters, because at the moment people will look at it and think, oh, Alicante, that's miles away. But if they knew that it's literally on their doorstep where they can help this family. So the other thing I wanted to show you is, so the GoFundMe now has been shared quite a lot. And it's got quite a bit in it. And so because of that, there's been a reward offered. Now, the GoFundMe hasn't reached the amount of the reward. The reward that's been offered is £30,000 for information. So that's a good reward, isn't it? You shouldn't need a reward to give information about a missing person, I don't think. But at the end of the day, sometimes you do need to offer a reward for whatever reason. And I suppose the people that might have the clue to this aren't maybe people that even know John, anyway, they've raised £18,000, just over £18,000 from their £20,000 target. If you feel like donating, please go ahead and donate. They're at 90% of their target. But, I think that is good. Now we can see that it's good. They obviously must think that someone has information. Somebody will have information. There's a couple of things I could show you on the Facebook of people who they think have got information, but I can't show them because I don't know what implications they've got in the investigation or not. And at the end of the day, if I ever do end up helping the Guardia or whatever, they're not going to be happy if I've been shown anything like that. So I'm not showing anything like that. But let me find the group. God, I can never find what I'm looking for when I'm actually online, and afterwards I find everything. Yeah, it's just typical. Right, let's see. yeah, there's quite a lot of it's quite a lot of photos of people that are supposed to have been involved. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the searches. I have managed to get onto that, thank God. Let's find the, where's the, so this is where they're searching. So this is a beach called Cabaro Beach. It's really low down. You have to go down a lot of steps to get to it. But it's a popular beach. It's, you know, it's a lovely beach once you get there. If you, especially when you've got all your, you know, when you've got all your stuff that that you normally take to the beach, it's a right trek down there. But it is lovely. It's like a little cove, Cabaro. It is a beautiful little beach, but it's not easy. The access is not easy. So they've got people with drones there. I don't know if the police have been and searched. The police will have police dogs. So as I say, as far as the police, the Guardia are concerned, I don't know what's been done with them or not been done with them. And also, I don't know why they really do seem to feel that they're looking for a body, don't they? And I'm not sure why that is, but they do seem convinced of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, hi Julie. I hope they find him soon too as well. And do you know what? It's just staggering the amount of missing Brits there are in Spain. You know, just awful. Missing people in general, but I suppose it's the same in Britain, isn't it? You know, until you start looking into these sort of things, you just cannot believe how many people go missing. And not all are for foul play reasons, of course. You know, some people go missing because they choose to go missing. People go missing because they delete themselves and, you know, whatever. Or they want to start a new life. Or they're red-rummed and, you know, hidden so carefully. Just amazing how many people go missing. And of course, most people who go missing are found pretty quickly, but not all. And in Spain, there just seems to be this massive amount of Brits that, you know, the more you look into it, it just boggles your mind. Anyway, let's have a look what other videos we've got. Oh, so this is what I was looking for before. So this is John's sister.
Christmas. What?
So at the end of the day, whatever you think about John or what he may or may not be or done or whatever, his family are missing him.
Along the beach, these cliffs, drones.
God, look at those cliffs.
Just us. No Spanish police, just...
You know, and this is what I'd like to, why no Spanish police and what is the situation with the police? You know, I just don't know, and they won't know because if they don't speak Spanish, unless, I mean, some of the Guardia do speak English. It's not all of them that don't speak English, quite especially in that area, the Guardia Civil in Orihuela Costa, some of them do speak English. But you can't rely on it. You know, at the end of the day, you're in Spain. You know, you wouldn't go into a police station in the UK and expect them to speak Spanish, would you? So, you know, that's just the way it is. But I would like to know.
The help from back home trying to find John. This is ridiculous. Like, this shouldn't be happening. I have his bed sheets in a bag for the sniffer dogs. We're doing everything we can as a family. No police authorities are helping here. This is a fucking disgrace. Please, please, please. Let's find John.
Now, why are they not helping? You know, as I say, I don't know why. I'd like to know why. I'd like to find out why, but I don't know why. You know, there'll be a massive, like with Jay Slater, the same, there'll be a massive difference between what what is going on as far as the family and friends are concerned, what the Guardia and their investigation is concerned, and who is bridging that gap. You know, that's my concern. Somebody needs to bridge that gap, because I don't believe for a minute the police don't care when someone goes missing, possibly red-rummed. Of course they do. They don't want that happening, especially not in a holiday area and that. You know, it's just they don't want it happening. You know, they do care about tourists. They do care about, well, a lot of the people there are residents anyway. You know, a lot of people, because you have to jump through hoops to be a resident now to live in Spain after brilliant Brexit. But, yeah, I just don't know what's going on there. I keep saying it and I have no clue, so I have to stop saying it.
So imagine this, just after Christmas, walking along the beach, these cliffs, drones, just us, no Spanish police, just the help from back home trying to find John. This is ridiculous.
You know, yeah, why that particular beach? I mean, there's loads of beaches along there. There's beach after beach after beach. It's the Costa del Sol. It's the coast. You know, it's one beach after another. So why that beach? There must be a reason why they're searching that particular beach. I don't know what that is. If the family want or friends want to let me know, and then I can talk about that or look into it more. But I have no idea why they're particularly searching that beach.
Like, this shouldn't be happening. I have his bed sheets in a bag for the sniffer dogs. We're doing everything we can as a family. No police authorities are helping here. This is a fucking disgrace.
Now, just one other, sorry about the language there, but I don't blame her for, you know, you would be God. You know, how could you stop yourself getting emotional? But another thing, now this might sound ridiculous, but it's true, 100% true, is there, even if they have got interpreters at the police station, you know, or there are police who speak English, their accent is difficult. You know, for somebody who's learned English in a school setting, they won't have learned a Belfast accent, let's say. I mean, I literally have been to a private hospital where I had to interpret for someone who was from Glasgow, funnily enough. Bless her, Molly, she's no longer with us, bless her. She's gone from this world now, but she was going to a private hospital where they had interpreters, and she said to me one day, "Oh, can you come and interpret for us?" And I said, "Well, what do you need an interpreter for? I thought they had interpreters." She said, "Yeah, but they can't understand my English." And I went along with Molly to interpret for a doctor's appointment, because they had, as I said, they spoke English, but they couldn't understand Molly's Glasgow English. And also it was sort of comical because Molly was an alcoholic, and the doctor was asking, do you drink? And she was going, no, not really. Now I know that Molly would go out to a local pub and drink, until she fell over and she had to be taken home. And then sometimes she would come back again and have to be taken home again because her husband, he worked away in like on the oil fields and that. You get a lot of that here, where people sort of work on the oil, or used to do anyway, and but lived in Spain then when they came home. And that was it. Her partner, he would go away, her husband, he would work away a lot. And when he worked away, she would just like go for it. And so she'd have to be taken home because she was so drunk from the pub. I've taken her home a couple of times. And then literally 10 minutes later, she'd be back. And you'd have to do it all over again. So she's saying to this doctor, no, I don't drink. And I'm behind her, like saying to the doctor, like gesturing to the doctor, yes, she does, and saying to him in Spanish, yes, she's an alcoholic. So she's saying to me one thing, and he said, well, how much do you drink? And she said, oh, the odd beer here and there. Oh, God. I mean, it was ridiculous. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, even if the police do speak English, there may be a problem with the accent. Because when someone's got a strong accent, it's difficult sometimes even for an English person to understand them. So I wonder if that's creating a problem. Just a thought. There's obviously some miscommunication going on between this family and friends and the police, the Guardia Civil, and there's a reason for it. I just don't know where it is.
Please. Let's find John. So imagine this, just after Christmas.
So, imagine it, just after Christmas. Your son's gone missing, your brother, your father, your whatever, and whatever, from what I can see about what comments, I know I've been going through all the comments that people have left. John seems to be a very popular guy. People like him, and they say they've got good things to say about him. So in general, I haven't really seen any horribleness on there, which is good. So anyway, so he deserves to be found at the end of the day. Right, let me just go back to that because I was finding some. I want to whiz through the things that are talking about possible people who've done something, because I don't know about that. And as I say, I don't want to share anything that's compromising in that sense. So these are people that were searching.
Just another member of the search team here.
It was raining.
John in his t-shirt. There's some more of John's family. One of John's brothers up ahead there.
Oh.
And now we've got the rain as well to add to it. We've got people stretched right along them rocks all the way over there. You may be able to see in the distance. All searching. Praying that we can find John.
Honestly, if people knew the real place where these people were meeting, if they hadn't got misled by the fact of thinking it's either Alicante or Benidorm, I tell you what, when they know the real place where it is, they'll be overwhelmed with searchers. I just know that for a fact.
There's just another member of the search team here. Good picture of John in his t-shirt. There's some more of John's family. One of John's brothers up ahead there.
So these scenes were from today. You know, so I don't know what that is. Right, let's have a look at this.
John George, who went missing on the 13th of December. So I'm here with Kay and the family of John George, who went missing on the 13th of December. And his family are all over from Ireland. John was here visiting, and he ended up hanging around with a couple of people who've now disappeared. Suddenly, the authorities aren't getting involved. We have drones up.
Now,
We've got people up on the rocks. In the distance, you probably can see.
Let me just go back to that, what you just said, that he was last seen with a couple of people who've now disappeared. And then he said the authorities aren't getting involved. That won't be true. Sorry, it just won't be true. They will be getting involved, but they won't be talking about it. Just know what the police are like in Spain. They did it with Anna Knežević. They wouldn't talk. Remember, I went to Madrid. They were all secretive. They wouldn't even tell me at the courts whether if the case was being held at that court. It was so secretive. So you just don't know if they really think that something has happened with the guys that they're talking about. The police will definitely be pursuing it. They will. I don't believe that they won't. Those guys, sooner or later, they'll be caught. You know, if they are guilty, if they have got something to be caught for. Don't matter where they go. They can go to Ireland. They can go wherever they like. They will not escape justice if they have done something. But I think the problem here is communication.
DK there. She's with John's sister Courtney. We've got people up on the top. There's been information, sadly, that some bad people disposed of John here, these rocks. We've got our dog Freya out with us, helping in the search.
Now, that's interesting. So he's saying there's been information that some bad people disposed of John here on the rocks. Now, what is that information? Is it genuine information? Disposed of him on the rocks? Well, they may well have done. So anyone who can help and actually go out and search to... I knew there must have a reason for that, to think that they might have, you know, why would they be searching there? There's a reason, but I just hope that they're at, you know, that it is proper information that they've had, not because, you know, sometimes people spread information that's disinformation, isn't it? But I'm sorry, I cannot accept that if the Guardia received information that someone had been thrown over the rocks, that they just wouldn't bother investigating it. I just can't believe that. But anyway, I could be wrong. But unless I spoke to the Guardia, I wouldn't know.
It's not an accessible place at all. It's really, really not a nice situation. We're just hoping and praying we can find out what happened to John, hopefully find him. And we're up in Cabaro, this is where we are. And this is the place where we've been led to believe that John's body was thrown.
Oh. Gosh. So it looks like they've been told then that his body has been thrown there. That's awful, isn't it? Imagine that. But you sort of hope they find him, because obviously it's better to find him and take him home. But also there's a part that sort of hopes that he's not there, you know, and I'm sure they feel the same. So it says there's about 25 of them out. You know, honestly, you know, you would get hundreds of people if the proper place where you're meeting, honestly, you would get hundreds of people. There's so many people in that area who would want to help.
About 25 is out today, all scattered along these rocks. Like I say, we've got a drone up above there. We've got some guys down the other end with another couple of drones searching the areas that we can't get to on foot. We have tried, a few of us, to get up them rocks, but it's not easy, and we're risking injury doing it.
Yeah.
we'll keep you updated, guys.
Well, thank you for providing these videos because it's important. God, look at this. There's a man on TikTok called Down the Rapids. He helped in the Jay Slater case, and he's very skilled. No, sorry, he's not. He's not. He's not going to help whatsoever. Oh, we looked at that one. Okay, so anyway, that's what I want to say today. I don't know if the Irish consulate, well, no, it'd be the British consulate because they're in Northern Ireland. My advice to the family would be contact the embassy, contact the consulate, contact LBT. I did send one of the people their details. They are the international group that helped with finding Jay Slater. Hi, Heather. And also, so let's just start. These are who I think should contact if family or friends are watching. Don't contact Down the Rapids, please, because he's absolutely about as much use as a chocolate teapot. But contact LBT Group, LBT Global. They help with overseas crisis support. Contact Jay Slater's parents because they will know obviously more than anyone, but this group, LBT Global, they did help Jay Slater's parents a lot. So, because they can give all sorts of support, all different kinds of support. So I would definitely say contact them. Contact the SOS Desaparecidos, who I got up earlier, because you want him. I wasn't sharing that, don't think. Hang on. Yeah. LBT Global, their overseas crisis support, contact them. They will help, definitely. I would definitely recommend that you contact Jay Slater's family directly. And Warren is on TikTok. Warren Slater, you can contact him by message on TikTok. I'm sure they would help, and give you the benefit of their, what they had to go through and what they would say to you to do or not to do. And who was the other one? Yeah. SOS Desaparecidos. They are the Spanish missing persons website. He's not on there at the moment. John's not on there. So he needs to go on there. You need to contact them. I'll say I can help you with that if you want, language wise. You need to contact them, and that's what would mean that once they would create a missing poster, they would disseminate it through their social media, they would put it on ATMs, etc., and try and get information that way. So definitely contact them if you can. Hi, Yvonne. And then just going back to the GoFundMe. So remember, there's now £30,000 reward, which, so if anyone wants to help with the GoFundMe, the GoFundMe will be to get the family out there to, the family that are out there helping in the searches, etc., his mum, his dad, his sister, his brothers, etc., trying to find his body, it feels like, which is very sad, isn't it? But it does need to be found if it's not going to be a positive outcome. At least finding his body, and again, ask Jay Slater's family, that finding his body was better than never knowing what happened to it. But yeah, 30,000. Let me see if I can find some information about that, actually. So I wanted to show that. that's been the news today, really. You know, that a reward is offered, but anyway, it's not coming up with it. But I thought it was on the Facebook page. Let's see. What's that? Oh. Anyway, there's a few things coming out about the search. Only that they haven't found anything. Very sad. I can't find the actual post about the reward, but I definitely saw it. There's a £30,000 reward for any information finding out what has happened to this father. So yeah, again, I just want to remind people, it doesn't matter what he's done, what he hasn't done, what his history is. At the end of the day, this guy is missing. He's got 2 kids. He's got a mother, he's got a father, he's got a sister, he's got brothers that are looking for him. And they deserve to know what's happened to him, in my opinion. Whatever. Okay, right, I'm going. So if you know anything, if you live in that area, let me just put the bar up again. It's just this. So the most important thing that I want to say to people is this bar, the Lucky Lion. It's an Irish bar. It's not in Alicante. It's in Orihuela Costa, and they meet there at 11 o'clock every morning. And I think that is probably the mistake, if you like, in saying where this bar exactly is, has led to maybe there not being as many volunteers as there might have been. I think once people realise properly that this is where this bar is, Calle Cabaro 13, La Ronda, Lomas de Cabaroig. There'll be loads of people watching out there who will know exactly where that is and who will live nearby, because it's a big expat area. Orihuela Costa, loads of expats, loads of Irish people around at Lasenia, etc., in those areas, Cabaroy, Campermore. There'll be loads of people. If only they knew, you know, that needs to be rectified on the posters, etc., on all the social media that's going out there, because people will be thinking, oh, Alicante, that's what it's saying on the posters at the moment. Oh, Alicante is miles away. It's an hour away from this area that they're talking about. And people won't want to go an hour, but they won't mind going 10 minutes round the corner to help look for John, will they? Yeah, I agree, David. I think the police will be trying to find the people that have disappeared. And now it does seem that these people have disappeared. Have they disappeared because they've done something? You know, the police will be on it. You know, there'll be CCTV cameras. They'll be going through, just like we saw it, didn't we, David? You know, because I know you were with me through the Anna Knezevich thing. You know, it felt like nothing was happening, didn't it? Felt like nothing was happening. And then suddenly the police are releasing this CCTV of David Knezevich, you know, buying the black spray paint and the duct tape and stuff. The police will be on it. They'll be on the CCTV cameras, finding out what they can find out. There'll be a lot of things going on behind the scene, and the police will be concentrating on that. Now, why they're not looking for John's body, I don't know. If it is his body, of course. So I don't know the reason behind that, but anyway, time will tell. So prayers. I still haven't bought any new candles, so I'm going to put my virtual candle up because I am, you know, I say a prayer every day for everyone who's missing that we cover, but special prayer today, special candle for John and his family, especially for his family and especially for his kids who deserve their dad to come back and or to at least find out what happened to him. And to his parents, you know, you could see his dad sounded so upset. You know, just only have to think, don't you, if it was your son, even though your son might not be a saint, doesn't matter, does it? It's still your son, it's still missing. And, you know, you want to know what's happened to him. Anyway. Okay, so I'll see you really soon in the next video, which hopefully by then maybe we'll know some more about John. I sincerely send out all my prayers, all my good wishes to the family, and I hope for a good resolution. But, you know, if not, at least some resolution is better than none. Thank you so much. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.